So I started with the KCL and I told you that from KCL we concluded that the sum of currents entering the node is equal to the sum of currents leaving the node. However, while defining KCL, I told you that KCL states that the algebraic sum of currents entering a node or a closed boundary is equal to 0. So I explained you I explained KCL by using a node, but now I will take a case of closed boundary. So I will write for a closed boundary. So KCL states that the algebraic sum of currents entering a node or a closed boundary is equal to 0. So for this node, I told you that I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus I1 plus I3 plus what was the third equation? I1 plus, where is the sheet? Here I told you that I1 plus I3 plus I5 is equal to I2 plus I4. Okay. Now let us discuss about a closed boundary. Let me show you how a closed boundary it looks like. So I'm saying this is, suppose, yeah, here current is IA, here current is IB, here we have a current is flowing in this direction, here current is flowing in this direction, here current is flowing in this direction, here it is flowing in this direction, here current is IE, here current is ID, and some current is flowing from this point to this point as well, and here the current that is flowing is IC. So I'm not labeling these other currents because I am taking a case of this side only. So what is a closed boundary? I'm taking this as a closed boundary. I'm taking this as a closed boundary. This ID. This is the direction of the current ID. So this is a closed boundary. So if you will apply KCL to this closed boundary, so what are the currents that are entering the boundary? IA, it is entering the boundary. IB, it is entering the boundary. Okay. So first look where this dotted line is cutting the circuit. It is cutting at this point, at this point, at this point, at this point, at this point. How many points are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 points are there. Okay. So what are the currents at these 5 points? IA, IB, IC, ID and IE. So what are the currents that are entering this boundary? The currents entering IA, is it entering? Yes, arrow is inwards, so it is entering. What is current IB? It is entering. Yes, it is entering, so the arrow is inward, it is entering, so it is positive. So what are the currents that are, what about IC? IC, if you will see, the current is going outside the boundary. It is in this direction, outwards. What about ID? See, current direction I have shown like this, so it is going outside the boundary. IE current, it is again going outside the boundary, so it stays this. I told you KCL, it states that the algebraic sum of currents entering the boundary or entering a node or a closed boundary is equal to 0. So by convention, IA is entering, so I will take it as positive. IB is entering, it is again positive. IC is leaving, so negative algebraic sign. ID again negative because it is leaving. IE again negative. So algebraic sum is equal to 0. Okay, this is a closed boundary. So from here I conclude that IA plus IB is equal to IC plus ID plus IE. Same as the previous. There I was taking as a node. Here is a boundary, because in while solving the circuit, I will say that this boundary, it shrinks to a node. But this boundary, it will shrink and it will form a node. So then we will say that condition KCL will remain same for the boundary as well as for a node. Now, while speaking about the KCL, what about if we have number of current sources that are connected in parallel? Suppose I have a current source I1, I2, I3. Okay, I have these three sources and I have here some A, this is A dash, here I have I total, this is suppose I1, this is I2, this is I3. Okay, so you see that these three elements, they are connected at the same point. This will form one node and this will form another node. Okay, this node I am labeling it as A and this node I am labeling it as A dash, because this point, this point, this point and this point, it is same. They are all are at the same potential. So this point, this whole point is A and this complete point is A dash. So if you will say I1 and I2, I1 and I3, they are pointing in the same direction, but I2 is pointing in the opposite direction. Okay, so I am saying this and this I1 and I3, they are in parallel. Okay, and I1 and I2, they are anti-parallel, and I2 and I3, they are also anti-parallel. So I will say when current sources are connected in parallel, they are connected in parallel. Okay, anti-parallel means parallel but in opposite direction. Okay, so I will say when current sources are connected in parallel, the total current, IT is the total current, the total current will be the algebraic sum of currents supplied by the individual sources. Current supplied by individual sources means I1, I2 and I3, and I total will be algebraic sum of these three. So if you will apply KCL at this node, suppose I am labeling this as K, node K. If you will apply KCL at node K, what will you get? I1 minus I2 plus I3 will be equal to, plus I3 minus IT will be equal to 0. Okay, because IT is current that is going away from the node, I1 is the current that is going towards the node K, I2 is the current that is going away from the node K, I3 is the current that is going towards node K. So I will get I1 minus I2 plus I3 minus IT equal to 0, or in other words I can say IT will be equal to I1 plus I3 minus I2. Okay, so since the direction of I2 is in this direction, I2 points in this direction downwards, what if I2 will be same as like this? Suppose this is I1, this is I2, and this is I3, this is A dash, this is I total, I1, I2, I3. So what will be I total here? Algebraic sum. I'm saying that the total current will be the algebraic sum of current supplied by the individual source. So here I can say that I1, if I will apply KCL at node K here, in this case I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus IT will be equal to 0, which implies IT will be equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Okay, so what I am saying, I am telling you, when current sources are connected in parallel, okay, the total current will be the algebraic sum of the currents. Total current will be the algebraic sum of the currents entering the algebraic sum of currents supplied by the individual source. Here algebraic sum, here minus because it is in opposite direction, here plus because it is in the same direction. Okay, so you got it, that when current sources are connected in parallel, the total current supplied will be the algebraic sum of the current supplied by the individual source. Okay, but please keep in mind that a circuit cannot contain two different currents in series unless both the currents are equal. Okay, what I'm trying to say, I'm saying that a circuit cannot contain two different current sources in series. Suppose then I have some here resistor, then here I have another resistor, and here I have another resistor. Okay, I'm saying that is this is I1, this is I2. I'm saying that the circuit cannot contain two different current sources in series, current sources in series, unless both the currents are equal, means I1 is equal to I2. If I1 is equal to I2, then it will contain the then the circuit then we say that the circuit can contain two current sources in series, because if I1 is not equal to I2, okay, if I1 is not equal to I2, then KCL will be violated. Okay, if I1 is not equal to I2, then KCL is violated. Is not equal to I2, then KCL is violated. That is why we say that I1 should be equal to I2, then only the circuit can contain two current sources. Even if I1 is equal to I2 and the current sources are connected in series and are connected in series, okay, still no power will flow in the circuit. So still no power will flow in the circuit. So why no power will flow in the circuit even if I1 is equal to I2? That I will tell you when I will teach you superposition theorem. Okay, so right now it is not possible to teach it, so that thing I will teach you when I will teach you superposition theorem. Okay, so next is KVL or Kirchhoff voltage law, second law. So this law, first law was KCL, current law, which was based on the law of conservation of charge. Now the second law, KVL, it is based on the law of conservation of energy. And this law states that algebraic sum of voltage around a closed path is equal to 0. Around a closed path or loop is equal to 0. So how will I write? I will write summation m is equal to 1 to m, Vm is equal to 0. What is m here? M represents the number of branches in a loop, and Vm is the voltage across mth branch. Okay, so let me show it with the help of a diagram. So suppose I am taking a circuit here like this, V1, this is V1, this is voltage drop across, this is V2 across, this is V3, and voltage is V4, and this is V5. Suppose I'm saying this is positive, this is negative, this is positive, this is negative. See here, these two are connected in series because they have a single node. They both are connected to a single node, and this voltage source and this resistor, they are also connected because they are sequentially connected via single node. This voltage source and this resistor and this voltage source, they are also connected in series. This and this, they are also connected in series. This and this, they are also connected in series. So the whole circuit is a series circuit. That is why it will form a loop. Okay, so let us consider a convention that voltage drops voltage drops are considered as positive and voltage rise is considered negative. Okay, I'm supposing that the current is flowing in this direction. We are going a loop around in this direction. This is positive, this is negative, this is positive, this is negative, this is negative, this is positive, and this is positive, this is negative, this is negative and positive. So if we are going from positive to negative, means there is drop. Drop means voltage is positive across that element. So if we are going from negative to positive, means rise, and rise we take as negative. So I will start from this point. I am going in this way. So first positive terminal and then negative, means there is drop. I told you voltage drop is considered as positive, so it is plus V2. Again, then positive to negative, plus V3. Then we are coming to this element. In this element, we are going from negative. In this element, we were going from positive to negative. Then in this element, again from positive to negative. Then in this element, first negative, then positive, means there is rise, means we will rise minus V4. We will come in this way. In this element, first positive, then negative. So again, drop means positive. Again, then in this case, first negative, then positive, means rise means negative, minus V1 is equal to 0. Okay, so the KCL states that the algebraic sum of the voltage around a closed path is equal to 0. Here it is mathematically shown. The voltage, algebraic sum of voltages around a closed path is equal to 0. So I can write V2 plus V3 plus V5 will be equal to V1 plus V4. What is this V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V5? These are voltage drops, and these are nothing but voltage rise. Okay, so drop I am taking negative, positive, and rise I am taking negative. So I can say from this I concluded that sum of voltage drops are equal to sum of voltage rises. In KCL, what we concluded? We concluded that the sum of currents entering the node are equal to the sum of currents leaving the node. Here we concluded that the sum of voltage drops are equal to the sum of voltage rises. So this is about the KVL. So let me explain one more point. So we say when voltage sources, they are connected in series. Suppose I have a voltage source, 3 voltage sources, 1, 2, 3, plus minus, plus minus, minus plus. Okay. Here. So they are connected in series because same current is flowing across them, and this, they both are connected to a single node, and they both are connected to a single node. Okay, so I am saying that they are connected in series. Okay, because this and this, they have a single node in common, and this and this, they have a single node in common, and same current is flowing through them. So that is why they are connected in series. Okay, so I am saying that when voltage sources are connected in series, A is positive, B is negative. This is voltage from this to this side is VAB. So I'm saying that when voltage sources are connected in series, the combined or the net or total net voltage across the series combination of the voltage sources, it will be equal to the algebraic sum of the voltage of individual sources. So here what I'm trying to explain here, I am saying that net voltage will be the algebraic sum of the voltages of individual sources. So by KVL I can say, So if I will move in this direction, so first is positive, then negative, means from positive to negative it is rise means, so it will be plus, suppose this is v1, this is v2, and this is v3, it is plus v1. Then we are moving again, first positive then negative, means drop positive, plus v2, plus what is first here in case of v3, first we encounter the negative terminal, then the positive, means it is rise, so it will not be positive, it will be negative minus v3. Then here you can see b is negative, then a is positive, means negative to positive it is again rise, minus vab will be equal to 0. So from here we concluded that vab will be equal to v1 plus v2 minus v3, v1 plus v2 minus v3. So this is what I have written here. This is what I have written here, means net voltage. What is the net voltage across the series combination of voltage sources? So net voltage is VAB. The net voltage will be equal to the algebraic sum of voltages of individual sources. What is the algebraic sum? V1 plus V2 minus V3. So this is the algebraic sum of the voltage of individual sources, which is equal to the net voltage across the series combination of the voltage sources. So in this case, please consider when voltage sources are connected in series. So please remember that a circuit cannot have two different voltages in parallel. In case of current sources, I told you, if the current sources are connected in parallel, okay, then the net current will be equal to the algebraic sum of the currents of the individual sources. However, I told you that two current sources, they can be connected in parallel only if they can be connected in series only if I1 is equal to I2, otherwise KCL will be violated. So even if I1 is equal to I2 in case of a series combination of current sources, still no power will flow. I told you I will teach you in superposition theorem. So here I am saying, when I told you about the voltage sources, when voltage sources are connected in series. Now let us discuss when the voltage sources are connected in parallel. So I am saying that if the two voltage sources are connected in parallel, then V1 should be equal to V2. Otherwise KVL will be violated. Okay, in case of parallel combination. In case of parallel combination of voltage sources. In case of parallel combination of voltage sources, V1 should be equal to V2. Otherwise, KVL will be violated. Okay. But still, no power will flow. Why power will not flow? Again, I will teach you in superposition theorem. So next, let us solve few problems. For example, problem 1. I will take a simple case. I will take a voltage source of 20 volt. Then I will take two resistors which are connected in series. This is 3 ohm. This is 2 ohm. Okay, so this is plus, minus, this is plus, this is minus, because current I flows in this direction. Okay, so I am saying this is V1, voltage across, this is V2. So calculate V1 and V2. Simply for calculating V1 and V2, you know what will be R total, R equivalent. These two are connected in series, so it will be 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5 ohm. So what will be I? I will be nothing but V by R equivalent. What is V20? What is R equivalent? 5. So current will be 4 ampere. So what will be the V1 then? V1 will be simply Ohm's law, I into 2, and V2 will be simply I into 3. 4 into 2, 8 amperes, and here 4 into 3, 12 amperes. So V1 is 8 and V2 is 12. Now apply KVL in this circuit to verify the system. Let us verify if it is V1 and V2 are correct. I will apply KVL. KVL states V1 positive, right? V1 is drop, so it will be positive. It will be minus 8 volts. Then V2 again positive to negative, it will be drop, again positive, plus 12. then first negative terminal, then positive, so it is rise, minus 20, it should be equal to 0. So 8 plus 12, 20, minus 20, it should be equal to 0, means 20 will cancel, so 0 will be equal to 0. LHS is equal to RHS, hence verified. Okay, so this was a very simple problem. So another problem, again I will take a very simple problem. Again I will take a very simple problem. Suppose what I will do here, I was taking one voltage source and 2 resistor. What I will do, I will add one more voltage source in the circuit, but the problem will be slightly different. This is plus minus 32 volt. Then here I have a resistor of 4 ohm, a voltage source of, I am saying it is minus 8 volt. Okay, this is suppose 2 ohm plus minus V2 plus minus V1. Okay, so now I have to solve the circuit. In this I have to calculate V1 and V2. Okay, so to calculate V1 and V2, let me again draw this circuit here. Plus minus 32 volt, 4 ohm, minus plus minus 8 volt, and here I have a source here. I'm saying plus minus, here I'm saying plus minus, this is 2 ohm. Okay, whatever will be the value of V2 I will get here, I will reverse the polarity there, means I will take the negative, it will give me the value of V2 when this is positive and this is negative. Okay, so I will apply KCL. Suppose I'm saying current I is flowing in the circuit. Now I will apply KVL in this circuit. It will be nothing but 4 into I, negative first, positive then means rise means negative, minus 8, then first positive then negative means I have this drop is positive, then in this case negative and positive means rise means negative, minus 32 is equal to 0. So what I am getting 6I, 4 to 6I, so minus will be plus, so plus 8 minus 32, it will be 24, minus 24 will be equal to 0. So which implies 6I is equal to 24, or I is equal to 4 amperes. How much current is flowing in the circuit? It is 4 amperes. Okay, it is 4 amperes. So then what will be V1? V1 is 4 into 4, because it is current into voltage 16 volts. V2 will be equal to 2 into what is current? 4. So current, what is the, so it will be, I'm saying V2 dash. V2 dash will be 8 volts. This is V2 dash. I'm saying V2 dash. This is V1. So V2 dash is 8 volts, because this is plus and this is minus. But how in the question, what was V2? It was plus, it is a minus. So it will, if you will reverse the polarities, if it is plus and minus, but here it is plus minus, so what will happen? So the value of V2, its sign will change. So I am saying that V2 is equal to minus V2 dash. Okay, V2 in the circuit is equal to minus V2 dash in this circuit. So I can write V2 is equal to, what is V2 dash? V2 dash is minus, as it is, what is V2 dash? 8 volts. So V2 will be equal to 8 volts, minus 8 volts. Okay, so this was all about the today's class, lecture number 4. In lecture number 5 I will start with 2 numericals. Okay, for any doubt you people can call me directly. Okay, so I will not respond on this YouTube. Okay, for any queries call me directly. Thank you very much.